Bugungi darsimizda nimani davom ettiramiz? Bugungi darsimizda Chemistry 13 Test 3 Section 3 ni analiz bilan davom ettiramiz. Keling endi shu ishni qilaylik birgalikda. Section 3 21 to 30 questions 21 to 24 ko'rgazma multiple choice ABC savollari projects on using natural dyes to color fabrics. Demak, tkань ya'ni matolarni color ya'ni ranglantirish uchun natural dye ya'ni tabiiy bo'yoqlardan foydalanish bo'yicha proyekt. What first inspired Jim to choose this project? Nima uchun inspiration bo'lgan Jimda? Text plus display exhibitionda ko'rsatilgan displaylari, tekstillari, book about botanic garden, kitob, carpet is on foldy, gilamlar. Jim eventually decided to do a particular investigation which involved nimani involve qilgan investigation qilgan ekan. Range of dyes, different fibers, applying different dyes on one type of fiber, or testing one dye on a range of fibers. Tushunarli. Xo'p, turli xil mato, turli xil rang, bitta rang turli xil mato, bitta mato turli xil rang. When doing his experiment, Jim was surprised by nima bilan surprise bo'lgan ekan? How much natural material was needed to make dye? How much natural material was needed to make a dye? How much material? How much kerak muhim. Dyes are widely available on the internet, widely available. The time that he had to leave the fabric and dye. Time he had to leave. What did Jim have was utilized? What problem qanaqa problem bo'lgan ekan? Jimda tartazine fabric dye'ni ishlatayotganda slight allergic reaction bo'lgan ekan. Permanent dye on cotton bo'lgan ekan. Not permanent dye ekan. On cotton ekan. Ineffective when using nylon. Nylon bilan ineffective bo'lgan ekan. Shu keling birgalikda eshitamiz. Javoblarni ko'rishga harakat qilamiz. Birgalikda ketdik.
That is the end.
Shut up.
3. You will hear it. You have some time to look at questions and answer questions 21 to 24.
Let's go.
Okay, Jim. You wanted to see me about your textile design project.
That's right. I've been looking at how a range of natural dyes can be used to colour fabrics like cotton and wool.
Why did you choose that topic?
Well, I got a lot of useful ideas from the museum, you know, at that exhibition of textiles. But I've always been interested in anything to do with colour. Years ago, I went to a carpet shop with my parents when we were on holiday in Turkey, and I remember all the amazing colours.
They might not all have been natural dyes.
Maybe not. But for the project, I decided to follow it up. And I found a great book about a botanic garden in California that specializes in plants used for dyes.
Okay, so...
Bo'ldi. Xo'p, qisqasi Jim shu proyekt qilaman dedi. O'qituvchi so'radi, nima bunaqa ishlading dedi. Exhibitionda, muzeumda ko'rgan tekstillarimiz zo'r dedi, lekin eng zo'ri men Turkiyaga borganimizda yoshligimda oldinroq carpet magaziniga kirgandik va вообще mazam qochgani ko'rib dedi. Undan keyin follow up qildimda, book topib oldim, zo'r book topib oldim dedi. Mana I've got a lot of videos from museum at the exhibition of textiles, but I've always been interested in anything with the colors. Years ago, I went to a carpet shop with my parents when we were in Turkey, and I remember all the amazing colors. Maybe not. I decided to follow it up. I found a great book about the botanic garden. Shuning uchun ham bular chiqib ketdi, si javob bo'ldi.
In your project, you had to include a practical investigation.
Yeah. At first, I couldn't decide on my variables. I was going to just look at one type of fiber, for example, like cotton.
And see how different types of dyes affected it?
Yes. Then I decided to include others as well. So I looked at cotton and wool and nylon.
With just one type of dye?
Various types, including some that weren't natural for comparison.
Okay.
O'z ko'rgazma nima dedi? Variation bilan muammo bo'ldimi? Mana my variables mana. Qisqasi boshlanishda at first I couldn't decide on my variable degan o'zgarishlar. Variable'larni decide qila olmadim dedi. Tushunmadim. Necha bo'ldi? Variable'larni decide qila olmadim dedi. Boshlanishda masalan one fiberni ishlatmoqchi edim dedi. Mana cotton dedi. How different types affected dedi. Ha dedi. Lekin then dedi, lekin keyinroq yes dedi. Mana o'sha shuni buni o'chirib tashladim mana. Birinchidan different types of one type of fiber bu cotton bo'ladi. Different types of dyes bu ana bo'ladi. O'tirmaydizmi? Different types of dyes bo'ladi. Yes, then I decided to include others as well dedi. Boshqa looked at cotton, wool and nylon dedi. Mana different fiber. we want just one type of dye? No, various types dedi. Faqatgina bitta type dedi. One type dedi. Yo'q dedi. Various dedi. O'sha uchun ham ayni oldi javobga. Bola javob.
So I did the experiments last week. I used some ready-made natural dyes. I found a website which supplied them. They came in just a few days, but I also made some of my own.
That must have taken quite a bit of time.
Yes. I thought it'd just be a matter of a teaspoon or so of dye. And actually that wasn't the case at all. Like, I was using one vegetable, a beetroot, for a red dye, and I had to chop up a whole pile of it. So it all took longer than I'd expected.
One possibility is to use food colorings.
I did use one. That was it.
Xo'p, qisqasi nima bo'ldi? Eksperiment qildim dedi. Internetdan oldim dedi. Lekin o'zimnikini ham qildim dedi. Lekin bitta teaspoon olaman deb qanchasini bunch of itni ana qo'ydim dedi. Ko'p vaqt ketib qoldi dedi. O'sha uchun ham ayni oldim, lekin fabrikni ustiga qo'yishim ko'p vaqt ketdi degan demaganligi sababli seni olmadim. Mana last week has some used ready-made natural dyes. I found a website which supplied them just a few days earlier. Made some of my own. I have taken quite a bit of time. Yeah, I thought it would just be a matter of teaspoon or so of dye, but actually that wasn't the case. Like, I was using one vegetable, beetroot, for red dye. I had to chop up a whole pile of it. It took a longer than I expected. My job bo'ladi. How much natural material? How much time does it take? Like, one person volt.
Yellow dye, an artificial one.
Tartrazine?
Tartrazine.
Yeah, I used it on cotton first. It came out a great colour. But when I rinsed the material, the colour just washed away. I'd been going to try it out on nylon, but I abandoned that idea.
Were you worried about health issues?
I thought if it's a legal food colouring, it must be safe.
Well, it can occasionally cause allergic reactions, I believe.
Qisqasi nima dedi? Artificial food coloringni ishlatib ko'rdingmi dedi. Ha, sarig'ini ishlatdim dedi. Tartizanmi dedi. Ha, tartizanni ishlatdim dedi. Qisqasi nima bo'ldi dedi? Cottonni ishlatdim dedi, lekin washda bo'lib ketdi, ya'ni yuvilib ketdi dedi. O'sha uchun ham permanent emas, davomiy emas. O'sha uchun ham bino oldim. Naylonda ishlatib ko'rmoqchi bo'ldim, lekin fikrimdan qaytdim dedi. Men naylonni umuman ishlatmagan, effektiv bo'lmaydi. Sen health issue'dan qo'rqmading dedi. Yo'q, endi legal bo'lsa, muammo bo'lmasa kerak dedi. Yo'q, lekin ba'zi vaqtlarda such allergic reaction bo'ladi dedi. O'sha uchun ham ayni ham chiqarib tashlab, qog'oz qilmagan, qog'oz qilishi mumkin. Cotton on first came out a great color. When I rinsed the material, the color just washed away. Job o'sha uchun ham B bo'ladi. Legal for coloring, health issues, allergic reaction berishi mumkin. Naylonda try qilmoqchi edim, abandon zayd. Shu gapda o'qish kerak, hamma savollarga javoblarni topish uchun. Bo'ldi, qisqasi 24 gacha topdik. Tushuntirishga harakat qildik. Keyingisiga o'tamiz. Shu savollarni yaxshi ko'raman-da. Turmeric, beetroot, purple, lugwood, cochineal, metal oxide. Expensive, color too strong, not long lasting, poisonous, damaged fabric, unexpected, unsuitable some fabrics, not available. Not available. Keling boshlaymiz javoblarni.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30.
So what natural dyes did you look at?
Well, one was turmeric. The colour's great. It's a really strong yellow. It's generally used in dishes like curry.
It's meant to be quite good for your health when eaten, but you might find it's not permanent when it's used as a dye. A few washes and it's gone.
Right.
Not permanent dedi. Dye sifatida ishlatmoqchi uchun few washes and it's gone dedi. O'sha uchun ham long lasting olamiz, C olamiz. C. Qisqasi mana. Turmeric meant to be good for your health when you eaten, but you might find it's not permanent, doimiy emas, long lasting emas when it's used as a dye. Few washes and it's gone. Bir-ikki marta ishlatasan, quradi.
I used beetroot as a dye for wool. When I chop up beetroot to eat, I always end up with bright red hands. but the wool ended up just a sort of watery cream shade. Disappointing.
There's a natural dye called Tyrian purple.
Watery cream shade. Disappointed, unexpected. Qo'limga qo'yganim qizilib ketdi, aniga qo'yganim cream shade bo'ldi. Qisqasi boshqacha bo'ldi. Beetroot chop up with better to it always end up with bright red hands, but the wool end up just a sort of watery cream shade. Disappointing. Unexpected bo'lganda color. Qizil kutgan ekan unaqa watery cream shade bo'lgan. O'sha uchun
Paul, have you heard of that?
Yes, it comes from a shellfish, and it was worn in ancient times, but only by important people, as it was so rare.
Rare.
I didn't use it.
It fell out of use centuries ago, though one researcher managed to get hold of some recently. But that shade of purple can be produced by chemical dyes nowadays. Did you use any black dyes?
Qisqasi not generally available dedi. Qimmat bo'lgani uchun, available bo'lmagani uchun kirishda tomonidan ishlatilgan qisqasi buni. So rare. Well, natural dye called Tyrian purple. Yes, selfish. It was worn in ancient times, but only imported by people as it was so rare. I didn't use it. Rare bo'lganda, available bo'lmagan. It fell out of use centuries ago. So one researcher, blah blah blah. Qisqasi rare bo'lganda, ana redki bo'lgan, o'sha uchun ham ishlatmagan. Generally available bo'lmagan, dostupniy bo'lmagan, shu uchun hech.
Logwood. That was quite complicated. I had to prepare the fabric so the dye would take.
I hope you were careful to wear gloves.
Yes, I know the danger with that dye.
Good, it can be extremely dangerous if it's ingested. Now, presumably you had a look at an insect-based dye.
Extremely dangerous if it's injected dedi. Poisonous bo'lishi mumkin endi bu. You damaged the fabric mi? Bilmayman ekanda. Realni bilmayman. Yo'q. Ikkalasini yozib qo'yaverichi. Chiqaraveramiz bittasini keyin. Hoppa. Logwood quite complicated. Prefer fabric so the dye would take. I hope you were careful to wear gloves. Yeah, I know the danger with the dye can be extremely dangerous when ingested. Qisqasi shu. Ingest qilsang, dangerous bo'lishi mumkin. Yesang, ingest qilsang, ichingga kirib ketsa yomon dedi.
Cochineal, for example.
Yes, I didn't actually make that. I didn't have time to start crushing up insects to get the red colour, and anyway, they're not available here. But I managed to get the dye quite easily from the website, but it cost a fortune. I can see why it's generally just used in...
Websitedan topdim, lekin it cost a fortune dedi. It cost a fortune degan qimmat bo'lib ketdi deganda, qisqasi bo'ladi javob. Qisqasi it cost a fortune dedi, o'sha uchun ham ayni olamiz. Red color anyway they were not available here. Managed to get the dye quite easily from website. It cost a fortune. Qisqasi qimmatda. Using cooking and small quantities.
Cooking and in small quantities.
Yes, it's very effective, but that's precisely why it's not used as a dye.
I also read about using metal oxide. Apparently you can allow iron to rust while it's in contact with the fabric, and that colours it.
Yes, that works well for dyeing cotton. But you have to be careful as the metal can actually affect the fabric, and so you can't expect to get a lot of wear out of fabrics treated in this way. And the colours are
You can expect
quite subtle. Not everyone likes them.
Tushunarli. Qisqasi fabrikni ana qilib qo'yish mumkin, damage qilib qo'yish mumkin. Bo'ldi. Mana we have to be careful. The metal can actually affect the fabric, so you can expect to get a lot of wear out of fabrics treated in this way. Qasi bo'ldi, aytdi, in chiqarib tashlaydi, keyin qo'ydik. Shu bilan bu qism o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Biz hozir keyingi section 4 ga o'tib ketamiz. Boshqa gap yo'q. Section 4 ga o'tib ketamiz, tamom. Xo'p.